Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us once again for a Nonprofit Enthusiast Live. Today, we're going to be talking about what is a nonprofit program. And I have the wonderful Miss Dolly Perez, who you all have met, joining me today to help me out. So one thing is, if you just take some time, invite your friends to the group. If you have any, remember that you have to invite them into the group and then tag them if you would like them to check out this Nonprofit Enthusiast Live. If you're catching it on replay, type in hashtag replay for us. And we're going to give it a few minutes before we get started. But, give us a shout out in the chat box. Let us know that you are here this morning.
So we already are seeing Rolanda she says, hi, everyone. So hi. Rochelle says, good morning. Good morning to you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So remember to tag your friends, invite them to the group. Miss Jackson says, good morning, team. Hey,
good morning.
Good morning, good morning. It's so good to be here with you guys and interact with us in the chat. Any questions that you have, or if you something resonate with you during the live that Lasheena is talking and you say like, man, it's so true, I've done that, or I need to do that, whichever, just let us know in the chat, because we want to know your thoughts, and we want to know what you're thinking, what you're going through. If we can be any help to you, that's what we are here for. So
yes,
good morning, everybody. Martina Speed says, good morning, I made it. Yay!
You made it.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, and remember, when you're tagging people, that if they're not in the group, they won't see the alert. So you have to invite them to the group first by clicking the invite button at the top, and then go ahead and tag them in so they can join us. So today, just so you all know, before we get started, we're going to be talking about what is a nonprofit program. And I like to talk about some of these topics. Number one, that's our theme this month. It's program development. And number two, I know we have a lot of nonprofit organizations just starting out, so I thought it would be good to kick off the month just talking about what a nonprofit program is. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So if you have any questions, feel free to or anything to add to the conversation. We'll be monitoring the chat box, and Dolly will point it out to me so that we can kind of talk about some of those things today. So we'll give it a few more minutes before we get started. Invite your friends into the group, and then from there, tag them so they can join in on this conversation on what is a nonprofit program.
So Miss Jackson is saying Subliming Our Dreams Inc. is having a great week. So awesome. Tell me a little bit more about it. What is happening?
Tell us about it.
I want to know. Martina Speed says, this is what I need. We are in the programming phase. Yes. Awesome. That's so awesome. So what are you doing, Martina? Tell us about it. We want to know. We want to know everything that is happening.
Yes.
In life. So let us know in the chat.
Yes.
Awesome.
All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Once again, we're going to be talking about what is a nonprofit program, and we'll continue to monitor the chat to hear from you, Martine and Shantae, so you could tell us what's going on. So we'll continue to monitor. So what is a nonprofit program? Before I get started, I am so excited and I'm grateful. As you all know, last month we had Complex 7 that sponsored us, and this month we have the Roots Art Store. So we'll like to thank the Roots Art Store for sponsoring this month. And the founder is actually on the call with us today. So Miss Dolly, yes, I'm going to. So you guys, please make sure you go and support the Root Art Store. If you're looking for your personalized jewelry to show your loved ones appreciation this month, or your volunteers or anyone appreciation, please definitely check out the Roots Art Store. And we thank you, Dolly, for believing in what the nonprofits are doing and sponsoring this month for us. So you all check that out, and we'll share the information for the Roots Art Store in the chat box so that you all can check that out. Again, invite your friends to the group, tag them in, and let's go ahead and get started. And let me see make sure I didn't miss anything. I see Martina says our activities are financial literacy and rent utilities assistant. Awesome. So one of the reasons that I really want to talk about programming 101 or what is a program is because I have the opportunity to sit on several grant review panels, and it breaks my heart when I see a nonprofit put an activity versus an actual program. For instance, they may put on, hey, we're going to have this Thanksgiving drive, and we need this, but really the scope is looking for an actual program to fund it. Instantly right there, they become out of scope, which they say on the review panel, and that's it. That knocks them out of the whole competition. So that's why I wanted to start out this month as we focus on, and we're going to be sharing different topics related to program development. So this is just the basic overview for especially for newer organizations or some organizations that just need to go back and check what you're doing with the programs. So let's talk about what a program is versus what a program is not. Okay. So a program is a group of complementary activities that aim to achieve one desired outcome. So it's these group of activities. So not saying, like, let's say that example I gave with the Thanksgiving event, that's just should be an activity or component of the entire program. It may deliver a specific service, for instance, like a mentorship youth program or a broader collection of related activities, such as a teen program that provides wraparound support like housing, counseling, employment. I talk about our nonprofit, and our three programs are Love Our Youth, Love Others, and Love Our Community. So we have our direct service where we provide direct services to youth. That's Love Our Youth. We have Love Our Community. That's our base because of the structure of our organization. We have an actual volunteer program itself because these volunteers go out and help other youth organizations. So that's why we have Love Our Community. And then we have Love Others, where we use the collective impact model to bring individuals, companies that all have a passion for youth together. But within those programs, we have activities that take place that make those programs what they are, but we also have a common outcome and a common goal for each of that. So I hope that makes sense to you all. And one of the things, and I'm going to say this a couple times, your program should align with your organization's mission. I'm going to say that again. Your program should align with your organization's mission, because oftentimes what happens with organizations is they get caught up in chasing the money and lose the mission. And then you find that lack of alignment also can lead to you not getting funding, because if I'm sitting on a review panel and we have to choose between, depending on what the scope for that panel is, but most of the time if we have to choose between, let's say we're giving out, there's a senior program looking for to provide adult literacy or some type of adult literacy programs to seniors, versus a youth program delivering that same adult literacy for seniors program. Who would you more than likely give that funding to? Would you give it to the senior program that's serving that population, or the youth program that's not serving that population? You're more than likely to give it to the one who has experience, the organization that has experience in that area. So don't get caught up in mission drift. Make sure that your programs align. So at the end of the day, I do hear organizations that ask, they want to build out their programs and add components to, and I've heard this too, and they even thought about starting a whole new organization. The biggest thing I always go back to, does it align with the mission of your organization? As we, with Love Our Youth expanded throughout the years, there's always this common goal, the youth. So we did eventually expanding and serving families, but then it all comes back to, in order to have a youth that can maximize their potential, what do they need? They need a family to be able to support them as well, right? So we need to support that family unit. So at the end of the day, even though we're able to expand our programs, we still go back to the youth. So just make sure that these programs align with your organization's mission.
And I was saying to that, Lasheena, sometimes that happens, like when we have entrepreneurs' minds, we think that we can do everything, right? And then suddenly an idea come to mind, or someone shares an idea with us and we're like, yeah, I can do that. Of course I can do that, because we, as entrepreneurs, we always, we can do everything. We have
Right.
all the powers in the world to do what we want to do. And then that's the part that you're mentioning. We need to stay in line, right? If that doesn't align with my organization, even though it's good money, then you're going to confuse your sponsors. You're going to confuse your partners. Like, what are they doing, right?
Yep.
So I think that reminds me of that. We as entrepreneurs, sometimes that's a little bit of a problem.
Yep.
Right? That we want to do everything, but we need to do the things one at a time. And for nonprofits, especially, it needs to align, right, with your organization. So let us know in the chat box here. I have Ms. Harris to say, great morning, I'm listening in, blessing, thank you for tuning in. So let us know if you're here listening with us, if you have any programs right now, how many programs are you running? And if you have thought about this, like aligning them to your organization. So let us know in the chat box.
Yes. So let's talk a little bit about what a program is not or should not be. So I talked about this a little bit earlier. Programs are not the same as activities. So that let's say, for instance, I'll give an example. We have our back to school bash, we have our toy drive, we have our so I guess that's a good example. So we have those events and activities that take place, but I don't consider that's not considered a program, so make sure that the difference. So remember that a program is a group of complementary activities that come together. So example of a program that we have is our college and career program as well. I shared our 3 main areas, but then under our Love Our Youth, we also have our college and career program, where we go out and provide a number of sessions to youth surrounded around the areas of college and career. We have outcomes associated with that we share with our donors that support that program, and so forth. So we're able to, so it goes back to what I shared earlier. A program is a group of complementary activities that aims to achieve one desired outcome. So they all come together. So each session within our college and career program builds our entire program. A program should not be a one-time activity. It shouldn't be a one-time deal, and then you call that, a program. I kind of touched on that just now. And it should not be so broad that it becomes difficult to understand the relationship between the activities, who's the target population, and the outcome. So you need to just make sure that it's obvious, you bring it in. And an example I just shared was like our college and career program. We know the youth is our target population. Our goal is to be able to have youth graduate on time so that they can support not only the economy, but also that they can be able to be self-sufficient as well. So, just making sure that you have those components in your program. So take a moment and think about your programs. Does it meet that? Is your program a group of complementary activity that aims to achieve the one desired outcome? And honestly, if you have a bunch of activities and they're all kind of doing their same thing or similar things, you typically can package it together as a program. And we're going to talk a little bit more as we go throughout the month and focus on program development, ways that you can bring those in. And the most interesting thing is, especially if you're a newer organization, I'm sure you understand this. A lot of times we start our organization developing a program first, but we don't realize that's the program. So a perfect example is when I started Love Our Youth, I knew I wanted to be able to provide services to youth and provide them with opportunities that I myself personally did not have through mentorship and other components. So I knew what the program is, and I'm sure you all can share the same. Drop that in there. If you, how did you start your organization? Can you relate to that? So a lot of times as founders, that's where we start, is with the program. We just don't realize that that's the program, or sometimes some organizations don't continue to build upon the idea in order to develop that concept into a program. So remember, and actually I'm gonna go into a few tips, but let's see, make sure I didn't miss anything. Dolly, I'm good.
Yeah, it says, Ms. Cooper says, greetings. Maria Griffin says, good morning. Hi to you all. So make sure you put in the chat if you're doing a program, if you started, like Lasheena mentioned, like her, like you didn't have a nonprofit, but you have a program, right? And one thing that I want to mention about what she was saying, that you need to see who is your target, right? Who is your audience? That, like in the marketing area, you can say you're micro niching your niche, right? And if you micro niche, there's this thing that says that you stretch that much your niche that no one can fit on it, only you. So if you micro niche, if your audience, who's your target, what's your purpose, then you commit to that, and then you will find that no one is doing what you're doing. So that's what you want to do, because if you want to make an impact, I'm sorry, in your community, then you got to think, who are you serving? We want to serve everybody, right? We want to change the world, but we can't. We need to start small, so then we can grow little by little.
Awesome.
So Ms. Harris says, I started the program first, right?
Yep, that is so true. Oftentimes that's where we start, is with, as a nonprofit, we start with the program, you know, and the program is very important to a nonprofit organization. So building your program is essential, because think about it. Wipe all of your programs out. Just say today, you know what? Forget it. We're not running no program. So what's your nonprofit? It's that important. So this month, as we talk about program development, just remember the importance of building a good program with outcomes. And we'll talk about all of that throughout the month. Today, I just really want to just hit on the basics. So as we go throughout the month, we'll continue to build on the concepts, okay? And just want to get you all thinking, am I running a program or am I running an activity? Okay, so think about that as well. All right, so, and also, so I just want to give you all some tips, and this month you'll see a blog come out where I share some more of this information in there. So I just want to give you some tips to keep in mind. Does the program that we are developing align with our mission? I talked about that, so don't forget, think about that when you're developing your program. Does it align with our mission? The other thing is, when developing your programs, do not do it alone. Because, and I told you all my story, I shared that in the last session about my story, starting an organization. I pretty much, someone said, just go ahead and get started, just do it, and let those that you serve create that mission and all of that for your organization. Don't do it alone. So get others involved. Ideally, if you can get the whoever your clientele is for your organization involved in the process, get them involved as well. Because a lot of times things sound really good to us, right? And then you go and try to operate, and you find out that's not serving the needs of what those that you are serving are looking for. So involve others in the process. Get your board involved. Get your team involved. So pretty much get your stakeholders involved in this conversation when developing program. Program development is a process. So you should not do it isolated or alone. Similar to your strategic plan, you should not do that alone. You have to do it with others. So get others involved. All right. The other tip I have is, again, I just kind of touched on this. Remember that it's a process. So when you're designing a program, it is a process. It doesn't just happen like this, you know, there's like needs assessment. You got to assess what's going on in my community. It's just going to help fill the gap. It's the entire process. And we'll talk some more throughout our sessions this month. And we have some guests coming on to talk about what this process should look like or could look like for your organization. So how are we looking? Let's see.
Yeah. Maria Griffin said, looking at starting a pastry chef program and eventually turning it to a school.
That sounds amazing.
That's amazing. So do you have your target audience, Maria? That will be the next question. Who are you serving? That will be the next question. So the more targeted you are, the more successful. Remember that we want to we don't want to do what everybody's doing, right? We want to have a specific audience to do it. Good morning, Kirsten.
Hi,
Thank you
Kirsten.
for tuning in.
Yes, thank you, thank you. All right, so I hope those tips were helpful today. We just wanted to hop on, like I said, so this month we are talking about program development. Last month, our most of our conversation was around board development and leadership. If you missed it, that's okay, because our wonderful Dolly set up guides for us. So if you go into the group, you will see a section at the top that says guides. Click on the guides, and we're adding to those topics as we go. So in case you missed the topic, just go through the guides. Similar to a course, you just go through and kind of watch the different videos associated with those guides. So and if you're catching it on this on replay, go ahead and give us a hashtag replay in here. So we're going to continue. So you'll see the program development guide come up. We'll add these components to it. I know we're going to have Mr. Tolliver coming on, and we're going to be talking about the theory of change. And we have so much different things that we're going to be talking about surrounded around program developed this month. And as a reminder, if you're a newer organization, I get it. And that's why we kind of broke down these months and have these themes the way that we do, because it's a lot of information for nonprofit. It's so much you got to do. So hopefully, as we create or share these themes with you each month, make that your theme as well. So that's an easy way to do it. So if this month you're like, oh my gosh, I got so much, make it your goal this month to focus on your program development. And that way we'll continue to share information and you can start applying it throughout. So that's a good way to use these themes that we have going on. So, and we have some additional themes that I'm excited because we're going to be bringing some guests in over the next few months to continue to talk to you about different portions of a nonprofit organization. So,
definitely. So Maria says for the program, for the chef program, looking at women that want to have a career, but that technically anyone who feels that they are more made for work and not university. So basically will be your target audience will be women. So my challenge for you, Maria, will be, because you already, narrowed down and you have your niche, but you can micro niche if you want, meaning you can pick like a certain age. You can pick single moms, married, women's. There's, a lot of things that you can do to micro niche. And if you micro niche a little bit, maybe you can have, because I know that some programs or some partners and all that, they give money in that niche specifically, if that makes sense. But that will be a challenge if you want to micro niche a little bit, but do a research, right? Within your belief, within what you want to do, who you want to impact. If there is a specific age range that you feel comfortable working with, that will be something that you can take into consideration as well. So you already have your audience. However, you can, if you want, to micro niche a little bit more. So then you can stand out in your organization, definitely. Because then it will be, you're not just serving women, but you're serving women that are this, if that makes sense.
And also another good way to help you micro niche is, especially if you're a newer organization and have not found your organization, just go ahead and start working in that area, because that will help you niche down or niche up sometimes as well. I share, our story. We started out as Love Our Young Women, and then the ladies started coming in, and then they want to invite their male friends. And I was at that time we had male mentors that was interested, so it was just worked out perfect for us. That's how we became Love Our Youth. And then over time, our program started to transform. We started out serving just the teen population. And then eventually we had to, with the community changed so much, we had to change, and we end up serving all youth. We did increase our target market, but what we did was we decreased our services. So that's what ended up happening. And because of the type of programming that we offer now, we can safely serve all ages. So now we're able to serve the entire family versus just a single youth. So that kind of will happen. And so the biggest thing is, just get started. That was my last video. Just do it. Just start. If that's what you want to do, if you want to start your chef program, start somewhere. Of course, like I know you want to grow it into a school. It might just be working with the local community center, trying to start doing something with them. And then as you go, things are going to start to become more clear for you as well. And that will help you with that niching as well, because you might have this idea that I want to serve everybody, then you realize that's not working. Or you might realize a certain market gravitates to the program more. Like you might realize, oh, it's more males that come into the program versus females. You might start noticing some of those trends, and then you'll have to kind of decide how you're going to proceed with your organization that way.
Yeah. But sometimes we get stuck in that part. And I agree so much with you, Lasheena, like just start, be part, look in your community near you. If there's any kind of similar programs that you can be part, volunteer, and grab ideas and see how you can do yours different or better even. Yeah. That's awesome. She says, great, thank you. This is great. Awesome. Yes, very true. I mean, we just want to help you guys, give you what we have in Lasheena experience from more than 10 years in this nonprofit world. So we hope, that this is very helpful for you guys. And that's why we want you to chat with us in the chat box, because this was like a one-on-one, very quick coaching there, right? So if you put stuff in the chat box while we're in the live, we're going to answer all your questions.
Yes, absolutely. And if you find that you need to talk some more, feel free to schedule we offer free consultations. Hop on a call with us. Anyone that's worked with us know that we give it all, and I think you guys can see that here in this group. We give it. We're here to support you. We have so much experience within our team alone, and then also with our network alone, that if we don't have it, we are going to find you it. Okay, so please take advantage of the services and opportunities that we have for you all. So, we like to end with homework. So your homework is this month, again, we're going to be focusing on program development. So start thinking about whether you have existing program or want to develop a new one. What is that next level? What is the next steps, the next level for you? So if you have an existing program, you may find some challenges that you've been facing. So what are some of those challenges that we need to face? And that's going to help too when we go on future calls. That way you can kind of have that mindset. And by the end of the month, I want to at least have a strategy or, something in place to be able to enhance my program and take it to the next level this year. So let's see, I think I have, I see a few people. We have what Kirsten said, my organization is centered around high school and seniors, but I also have a homeless program that I would like to incorporate. Awesome. And then, so with your, and I don't know how quick you're gonna be able to answer this, Kirsten. So you say your organization is centered around high school and seniors, but you want to have a homeless program. So I'm assuming your homeless program will still serve high schools and seniors as well, right? So you can answer that in chat box if you are still on. So yeah, so definitely making sure, remember, you want to bring it back to your mission. And I don't know the mission of your organization, but okay, perfect. Got it. So that's a perfect fit, because from you just saying you serve high school and seniors, I was able to pick up, okay, your homeless program is going to also serve high school and seniors. And it sounds like you've identified a need through serving them to have a homeless program. So that's awesome. That's really good. All right. So thank you all so much for joining us today. I hope these lives are helpful. Let us know, and show up. Come on. We try to keep them short enough that if you're on your lunch break or whichever you're doing, you can listen in and tune in with us and chat with us. And we try to not, be very, not go too deep, like course wise on these calls, so that way it's more of a conversation. But let us know that you're enjoying these. We're going to continue to do them as long as you all continue to come. So we appreciate you all coming. You know how to reach us, and please, remember to connect with each other in the group. Feel free anytime we're on these live, drop your website for your nonprofit in here, so that way you can connect with others, because you don't know who else is listening here, and build those relationships with one another. So all right, y'all. So
thank you so much. And remember to go to the guides. Remember to go there.
Yes. Check
Because I
out
know
the
if you
guides.
go to the group, everything goes down there and sometimes you cannot find things. So
Mhm.
that's why we created the guides. So whenever we have lives or posts that are, have good information for you, we put it in the guides. So if you go to the guides section, you're gonna find all the information there.
Awesome. Yes. And I think, and I'm trying to remember what our goal, we like to end these lives with a goal for next week, as far as the number of members that we want to invite. So I think we did 20 last, 20 more members, and I believe we hit that goal. I think we did. We're at 341 now. So can we set another goal? Let's go ahead and set another goal. What you all want to, let's say if we can get through 360 by next week. So 360, you all invite your friends. If each person on this call invite one person, we will get to 360 quickly. So please invite others. We like to share these resources and information, and it also that builds a bigger and greater community that we can support one another along the way. The other thing is, if you have not posted on our accountability post, now I'm gonna start going down a list and calling everyone. I'm not gonna do that, but you know who you are. Go ahead and post on our accountability post that went out. I believe it went out on Tuesday, what your goals are for this month. I know we have our accountability partners that we work with, and if you don't have one, that's one way that you can have accountability, because we do go back, we check throughout the month and say, hey, what's going on? How's this goal going? What do you need to move it forward? So please, post on that accountability post what you're looking for, I'm sorry, what your goal is for this month.
And if you don't have any goals, like Lasheena mentioned, then concentrating programs, right? What's that program gonna look like? Who are you serving? Where are you gonna do it? And all that. So I'm gonna call you out. I have Maria, I have Miss Harris, Kirsten. Who else was in the live? Let me see. Let me go back. Miss Harris, Miss Cooper, Don Dotson, Martina Speed. All of you should go back to that accountability post. Jackson, and put your goals and commit to it. Rachel Baker, Rolanda, and commit to it, right?
You got our eyes on y'all.
I'm calling on you.
We're your accountability partner. So if you go I believe it's like 3 posts down. It was posted on February 1st. You'll see it say accountability check-in. Post your goal for this month, your goals for this month in there. So that way too, what happens is members will go back and look, and if we can help each other, we'll provide resources to help each other as we go. And we also put an extra challenge, since it's Valentine's month, to tag someone else, call them out. Call them out. You know what I mean? That's how we have to hold each other accountable, because it's easy to get caught up on a day-to-day. So tag someone else in the group, or invite a friend in here and then tag them and say, hey, I got my eyes on you. We're gonna hit these goals this month. All right. So please go check out that accountability post.
Yes.
All right, awesome.
Kirsten says, I need a partner. Rangiana says, yes, will do. Martina Speed says, I need a partner too. And she says, I will post. So my suggestion will be, go to the accountability post and just say, hey, this is my name, this is my organization, this is my mission, and I need a partner. I need an accountability partner. And then you guys start posting there, and then you connect, and then just commit. And then, like Lasheena said, call them out. If they don't do their job, hey, you're not doing what you're supposed to do.
Yep. We already see right here, Kirsten, you said you need a partner. Martina, you said you need a partner. I think I hear 2 partners right there. So you guys, send each other a message and see how you all could, drop it in the accountability post, tag each other in there. So that way you all keep an eye on each other to make sure you reach the goals. And also we go in there as well, and we'll check on you throughout the month and see how you're doing as well. So remember, we're not doing this alone. We're much stronger together. So that's the goal, for us to support one another. Okay. All right, everyone. So I hope you all have a fabulous rest of your week. Once again, I want to thank Roots Art Store for sponsoring this month for us, our series of MPE Lives that we'll be having this month. Please be sure to check out their customizable, personalized jewelry pieces. If you haven't done so, go ahead and click on the link, check those out. I purchased a few for my family as well, and they loved it. So please check out those personalized pieces. And really quick, and I know Dolly's gonna hate me because I'm gonna put her on the spot. Do you mind sharing the story of that piece for, I believe it was for the one of your family, the dog, the was it with the paw that you created?
Yeah. So basically our store is more story based. I like to share stories throughout the jewelry. That's why they're personalized. So I had a person that she lost her dog, that she found it in the beach, and then she adopted the dog, and then they were together like for 10 years, and then it died. So she asked me if I could, because she has the paw print that before, when they were doing all the procedure and all that, they give it to her. So I said, sure, send me a picture and I'll do it for you. And she wears that necklace like every day of her life. And that's just amazing that for me to be able to create that kind of memories and story, that's priceless. So yeah, so that's
Yes.
one of the special pieces that I have made throughout the store and the jewelry. So we just share stories throughout. It's not just a necklace or a bracelet, it's more than that.
Awesome. So you
Mhm.
all please check out Roots Art Store, and we'll definitely drop the link in there. And we appreciate you sponsoring us this month and allowing us this opportunity to be able to share with our nonprofit family different resources, such as the program development topic that we had today. So you all stay tuned. We're going to be coming back with Nonprofit Lives, diving deeper into program development this month. So get anything you need to get in order, because we're going to be adding on to your homework throughout the month. So thank you all once again for joining us, and we will see you next week. All right. Bye, everyone.